save your past.
Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching the F&O Show on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. I'm Navneet Saluja D'Souza.
Good morning, Navneet. I'm Agam Vakil. Well, we are looking at a little bit of a recovery for now, Navneet, but that's not enough.
Not at all, Agam, but some respite after yesterday's sell-off, definitely. We had a gap-up opening coming about, and in fact, now the index is once again inching very closer to the mark of 11,000, which we did touch when the markets opened. So 70 points higher for the Nifty. Sensex also sitting with gains of about nearly 260 points. And Bank Nifty, which has been underperforming Nifty so far, at least in the August series, has also bounced back. Remember, Bank Nifty fell over 2%. There were short positions seen on the futures side. So some bit of recovery seen for Bank Nifty, which is sitting with gains of about 150 points. India VIX has cooled off after inching higher by about 10 to 11% yesterday. It did touch the mark of 18. Right now it's sitting with cuts of about 6%. Pull up the broader markets as well. Let's get a sense as to what's happening with the entire listed universe. So mid-cap, small-cap index just about meager gains of 0.3%. The market breadth will give you a better picture. That's in favor of the advances. It's actually even Steven. Let's see how we shape up in the second half of the session. Today is the weekly options expiry day because tomorrow is a market holiday. So you will have the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty options expiring today. So the open interest distribution, that's for today's expiry. The maximum open interest on the call side is at the 11,100 and the 11,000 strike is also sitting with good amount of open interest. And on the put side, of course, it is at the 10,900. With yesterday's fall, the base for this market has moved lower. Let's just pull up the change as well. We're seeing call riding at the 11,000 strike in today's trade, which has seen addition of nearly 11 lakh shares. And on the put side, as you can see on your screen, 10,900 is adding a lot of open interest. That too has added about 10.5 lakh shares alongside 10,800. So the range for today's expiry, Agam, can be 100 points, 10,900 to 11,000. And in case, once again, if we succumb to selling pressure in the second half, the recent low of 10,783 will be in focus.
Yeah, absolutely. Crucial levels to keep an eye on, but let's talk about stocks which are seeing a surge in open interest in today's day of trade, and that we should have that list up on your screen, where we do have plenty to keep an eye on. So Apollo Hospitals, of course, earnings have come in ahead of expectations. So that's the reason why we're looking at a 7% increase and a 32% increase in open interest towards fresh longs. Manappuram Finance, again, steady earnings coming through. So that's the reason why you have a near 2% increase there. Longs coming in, and it's flat for Berger Paints, but substantial accumulation. Reliance Industries looking at more longs after the kind of day that we've seen yesterday. And let's not forget Glenmark Pharma. We just spoke to the management right now, where the suggestion is that they're expecting a better quarter, but for now it's under pressure. It's down 8%, an increase of as much as 12%, 13% in open interest towards shorts. And what are we keeping an eye on when it comes to unwinding? Not much. PFC and Diwan Housing Finance to a certain extent. Diwan Housing Finance, of course, has gone into the F&O ban, so trading will be restricted there. But, final leg of earnings, Navneet. In fact, the last day of earnings, if I'm not mistaken, that's what will be in focus today.
Yeah, a lot of earnings reaction coming your way. We've seen that in terms of Apollo Hospitals and some of the other stocks like Manappuram Finance. But stocks where we would like to take views from our experts on the show. Topping the list is Indiabulls Housing, which is up for the third straight day. We've seen a sharp bounce back in the last three sessions. So we'll ask our experts if the stock has comfortably bottomed out now. Apollo Hospitals, quarter one beat analyst expectations, and the stock is also up and about. In fact, it's trading above its 50-day moving average. And some of the pharma stocks are under pressure from the likes of Glenmark, which has reacted to the numbers because the bottom line was down. And Dr. Reddy's, of course, some news bit coming in from US FDA setback, which the company has received as it's got a response letter on one of the drugs. There could be some delay in the launch of that now, Agam.
Okay, well, it's time to get in our experts for the day. But before that, here's a reminder. If you have any queries regarding futures and options markets, you can call us on 0224540441, or, of course, write to us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube with the AskBQ hashtag. To get in our experts for today, we have Rahul Shah of Motilal Oswal, as well as Brijesh Singh of StockAxis joining us on the show. Good morning to both of you, and thanks for taking the time out. Brijesh, let's start with you. Your view on the indices from here on. Where do we go?
Good morning, good morning, everyone. See, Agam, I don't think anything wrong right now. The market is just consolidating, and the giant Reliance has been supporting the market right now. And if I'm not mistaken, past 10-year history of, if we check it out, the intraday swing which we have seen yesterday was been fantastic, and still it's been holding on to the level of 1250 or say 1260 mark. So which indicates the Nifty for this expiry, Thursday expiry, it might be in the range of say 10,950 or say 10,970 zone. If we consider the trend right now, it's been consolidation to the bullish side. One thing is that. Second thing, if someone wants to play Nifty, so at this present rate, I would not be going long on it. But any dips below 10,940 on the future side of August series, 29th August series expiry, one can go for a long side with a stop loss of 10,880 and play for the target of 11,140. Even 11,200 can't be ruled out. So ultimately, it's like a consolidation on, and the trend is looking a little bit on the bullish side rather than on the bearish side.
Okay, that's a sharp up move coming in on the index now, which is trading above the mark of 11,000 Nifty. Of course, Reliance continues to contribute to the gains that we're seeing in today's session. The Nifty contributors list will throw a better picture. We did see heavyweights like HDFC Twins coming under pressure in yesterday's trade, but I think HDFC today has bounced back, so that's also lending support to the move that we're seeing on the upside. ICICI Bank, Infosys are a couple of other stocks. Hi, Rahul. Good morning to you. How are you reading into the bounce back that we've seen at least till now? Would you take any bet?
Hi, good morning. I think where the markets have been, I think today's way it has moved up. So I'm surprised in terms of way in last 10 minutes way it has been. So, but looking at the data, what I perceive when looking on the Nifty front, 10,800, 900 being the highest open interest on today's expiry. So it looks like that downside limited at in this morning. But where the markets have moved up 100 points Nifty right now. So I think still there could be some more upside for another 30-40 points from here, and there again we could see some resistance.
Okay, all right. So Rahul, how would you place your bets in that case?
I think I would, before the show had started, I had given 11,000 call for the 29th August expiry, but obviously the targets have achieved on that. But I would continue doing that on calls. I think around it's 154, 155 at current levels. I would revise the stop loss at 140 and then keep the target of 178.
Okay, so that's the options call coming in from Rahul. Brijesh, in terms of individual stock futures for today, which are the stocks that you're recommending in trade?
See, Navneet, I have two calls, one on the buy side and one on the sell side. Now, the first call which I would be going with is a looping. Now, stock has made the resistance zone at 787 or 790 zone, and it was not been able to surpass. Thrice it was, it has touched that level and it had come down. Now, this session. From 787 or 790, the stock has come down with volume. And the previous swing lows, which the stock was been holding, say somewhere around 740 or 745 mark, that has been broken. And the last swing low was somewhere around 695 or say 697. So I would be going short right now, somewhere around 725 or say 726. The stock is being quoting. So one can play with a short side with a stop loss of 745 and play for the target of 700 or even 697. Time frame to hold the call would be 2 to 4 trading session. Then the second call, which I've been witnessing, is Interglobe Aviation, Indigo. The stock has been trading in symmetrical triangle formation on the shorter term time frame of the charts, and is eager to break that triangle on the higher sides. So one can go for a long sides somewhere around 1540 or below. One can go for a long side with a stop loss of 1490 and play for the target of 1625. Time frame to hold the counter would be a week time frame.
Okay, Rahul, what about you? What stocks look good to you today?
I think one obviously from the IT pack has been done quite well since last few sessions in such markets. So I think TCH remains my top bet at this levels. I think we've seen some kind of sell-off in today's market. So I think with a stop loss of 2170, I would go long on TCH with a target of 2250. Second is, I think we've seen consumer names a mixed bag post earnings, and I think Marico has been a clear outstanding, and stock is near to its all-time high again. So my view is that I think it's got into a different technical trajectory. So I think good longs built up also. So I think risk to reward again remains quite good in Marico. So I would go long in Marico with a stop loss of 386 and target of 410.
Okay, so those are some individual stock ideas coming your way from our technical experts. Let's just start taking views on the stocks where we want to from our experts. And the first one is Indiabulls Housing. Now, the stock was up 13% on Friday. Yesterday also it made a move of about 13%. Friday was all about short covering, but yesterday we did see some bit of OI build up on the long side. And up till now as well, open interest has seen gains of about 9%, though the futures have been trading at a discount of about 45 points as we speak. Indiabulls Housing is up 2% in trade. Brijesh, has the stock bottomed out? It did touch 52-week low of 425 last week, but from those levels, it's bounced back quite sharply now. Has it bottomed out? Would you recommend taking any bet at current levels of 584?
See, Navneet, stock on a daily chart has been trading in a downward channel slopes, and that downward channel slope has, if we draw the upper band of the downward channel slope, has a resistance at 650 zone. But looking for a future point of view, till stock trades above 550 or say 560 zone, one can definitely look out to buy at the present or any dip somewhere around 570 with the stop loss of say 550 and look for the target of 620 around. No doubt chances are that stock has given stock has looking to bottom out. Confirmation would be coming when it gives closing above 650. So if the signs of 650 has been there on the chart, definitely the stock is heading for the level of 800 also. So we can see a sharp pullback towards the level of 800 once the stock give a closing above 650. But for purely for the trading bet is been concerned, keep a stop loss of 550 or say 560. Present it can be used for accumulation purpose. For target would be 650.
All right, so those are some of the names that our experts want to talk about, and of course Brijesh has spoken about Indiabulls Housing Finance. It is something that we will take up. Well, in that case, we may as well talk about Indiabulls Housing Finance with Rahul as well. So let's pull that up. Let's take a look at how this one has done or bad, because we have seen a lot of strength, not only just yesterday, because we had updates from the law firm which had allegations and that law against the company, and the law firm coming up with a public apology and also clarifying a lot of things, because of which we saw a sharp surge in Indiabulls Housing Finance yesterday, and today again it's moved by as much as 1.5%. So we are looking at a lot of strength in Indiabulls Housing Finance, and not just that. It's the third straight day of gains, and there are also the other Indiabulls group companies which are doing well. But I'm going to stick to this one. Rahul, your view here, how would you address this? Would you initiate fresh longs after the kind of up move that we've seen of late?
Any longs in Indiabulls, I think the basic structure in the stock has been weak. So my sense is I think near term the outlook remains still bleak on the Indiabulls Housing Finance. So I think there could be a resistance around 610 odd levels. I think that would be a good shorting point, I personally feel, in Indiabulls.
Okay.
All right, let's move on and take some more stocks. And the pharma space has been quite weak. And we just pull up the Nifty Pharma Index. That's the only sectoral loser, by the way, right now. And sharp losses have come about. It's down about 3% in trade. Constituents of that, Glenmark is the top loser in that index, down 8%. Dr. Reddy's is down about 5.5%, and Sun Pharma, which came out with its earnings yesterday, did see an up move after the earnings, but clear reaction seen after some brokerage houses gave their verdict on it. Sun Pharma is down about 5 to 5.5%. So let me club all these stocks: Glenmark, Dr. Reddy's, as well as Sun Pharma. Brijesh, is there anything on the charts which is giving you a comfortable signal to go short on any one of them?
See, Glenmark is looking weak on a monthly time frame of the chart. The stock has been trading with lower tops and lower bottom formation, and the stock should have been traded below 404 or say 405 odd level. Now, keeping that thing as a stop loss, any rise around 388 or 90, one can play for a short side and look for the target of 340 also 340. Even the Dr. Reddy, if I talk about, that is also looking weak on the chart. No doubt the stock has given bounce from a level of 2350, but the stock has to surpass a level of 25 zone. So any rise somewhere around 2461 can go for a sell side with the stop loss of 25.25 and play for the target of 2300, or even the target can be seen to 2270 also.
Okay, Rahul, what about you? How is this one, this sector in general looking to you? Because we are seeing a lot of traction in Glenmark, Dr. Reddy's, even in the healthcare space, something like an Apollo Hospitals. What's going on here? Anything that stands out for you?
I think the entire pharma index, if I pull out again, it's at a lower levels, and I don't see any major traction as a whole. A lot of stocks looks attractive in terms of valuations, but I think technically the stocks does not have lost their steam. So I think Sun again, after yesterday good rally, and again the stock has tanked today. So I think the longer term the chart looks still weaker on the Sun. Glenmark also subdued. Aurobindo post results we saw some kind of longs built up, but then again it's just giving up its gain now at high levels. So my view is that I think pharma still might consolidate, and it could be in a range for some time. There could be a trading opportunities at lower levels with a strict stop loss one can look at. So I think Sun at 385, 390 could be a good stock to go long on. That's what I feel. Now coming back to Apollo Hospital, so I feel that stock is one of the better chart structure amongst all of them, and I feel the stock is near to its 52-week high again. So I think one can initiate a long on Apollo Hospital with a stop loss of 1380, and target again could be 1460 or something like that.
Okay, Apollo reacting positively to its numbers. In fact, it's crossed its 50 DMA in today's session. In fact, that should answer Krishna's query as well. He's written to us on YouTube. He wanted to know if one can, what's the view on Dr. Reddy's put. So Brijesh just commented, he said you can look to go short on Dr. Reddy's around the levels of 2460, and his first target there is 2300, and the next target at about 2270. Brijesh, but I'll come back to you. If somebody wants to buy a put, which strike would you advise them to buy of Dr. Reddy's?
See, Navneet, as I have said, the stock is looking weak on the chart. As I have said, the trend has been down till stock doesn't give closing about 25.25. So rather than going, if someone wants to play for the future, the view has been mentioned. If someone wants to go for a strike price, then I would be suggesting 2600 around. There is a resistance zone in a call. So if someone wants to play, I think it's been quoting somewhere around 18 rupees or 19 rupees zone. So one can look out to sell a call of 2600, and if he wants to put a stop loss, and put a stop loss of say 30 and hold on to this series, the chances are that the call might be would be zero around till this expiry.
Okay, let's moving on. We have another query from F&O student on Ashok Leyland. There's been a slow grind down towards death, well, slowly and steadily from the levels of around 130, 140 last year. It is now at 62.6. Of course, on fundamental basis, this naturally has to do with the slowdown in the auto sector. But, you know, it's almost every second day we see the stock going even further down. It is trending higher today, but it's possibly one of the few exceptions. F&O student wants to know what are the crucial levels to keep an eye on for this month's expiry. Please do let us know. Rahul, what's your view on this one, and what levels would you watch out for?
I think obviously we've seen the auto sector as a whole since the last 3-4 series has been under a pain. So I think Ashok Leyland also has been biggest underperformer in the entire auto pack. So the technical structure looks very weak on the chart. So my view is I think fresh shorts addition also has been there in the stock. So I think in near term the support is I think at 59 or odd levels, where it could resist for some time, and then it could face resistance at 64 or odd levels. So I think it's quite in a range kind of a stuff. So I think sell on rise would be my advice in Ashok Leyland, because among all the auto pack I think this looks more weak, among the weakest among all of them.
Okay, that's Show Cleland, which is up about 2% in today's trade. But few stocks from the NBFC space which have performed well, at least so far. And one of them is Shriram Transport. That's up about 6% so far in today's session. And the futures will tell you if there are any sort of long positions being built up here. No major change, but still open interest, as I can see on the screen, is up about 5% so far. Brijesh, a move of about 6%. Would you bet on this one on the upside at current levels?
Still, Navneet, the stock has been trading with lower tops and lower bottom formation, and the trend line on if we joint swing highs, the trend line breakout has to be witnessed, and the trend line breakout has been witnessed when the stock trades above 1065 or the 1068 mark. So till it's not been trading above that level, I would be avoiding. But if someone wants to go for a long side, present date should be avoided, but if it trades somewhere around 1020 around, one can look out to buy with the stop loss of 990 and play for the target of 1068. And if it surpasses that level, then 1120 is another target on the higher side.
Okay, all right. We have a query on Bank Nifty as well. Venkat Sai says he's bought Bank Nifty, the 28,000 call at 40 today. Today's expiry, he wants to know what can be done with it. What is the suggestion? Today's Bank Nifty expiry, I'm not sure. Okay, if we can have that because, of course, considering tomorrow is a holiday, it will expire today. It's at 114 and he's already bought it. And I reckon that if he's bought it earlier in the day, he's probably sitting at some amount of profitability.
He bought at about 40 rupees, so he's
40,
sitting on a huge amount.
That's a significant amount of profits. Rahul, would you ask him to book profits or would you ask him to trade stop losses?
I think I would ask him to book profits. I think where the structure has been, I think it's going to be faced. Bank Nifty would face a resistance at 28,070 or odd levels, and at the spot which is trading as at 28,040 or odd. So I think I would advise him to book profit at current levels in Bank Nifty.
Okay, book profits onto that 28,000 call strike of Bank Nifty is the advice from Rahul. Just want to revisit the markets, by the way. It's been a good bounce back. Now index is at about 11,040 thereabouts. So most of your heavyweights are lending support, 11,033 to be precise. You've got stocks like ICICI Bank, which is the top contributor. That's up about 2.5%. HDFC, Reliance Industries, and stocks like Infi and ITC, which were weak in yesterday's session. ITC touched its 52-week low, has also bounced back. That's trading with gains of about 1% to 1.5%. In terms of other stocks, the metal counters have bounced back. So the Nifty Metals Index, which has been underperforming for in the recent past, you've got Tata Steel and Vedanta now, which are your top Nifty gainers. Both the stocks are sitting with gains of about 4% respectively. And of course, your other metal stocks like Hindalco, that too is sitting with gains of about 3%. I think Grasim comes out with its earnings today. Ahead of that, we have seen gains of about 2% for Grasim. But other than that, on the losing side, you've got counters like we've already addressed, by the way, Glenmark and Sun Pharma. So Nalco is the other one, which is down about 4.5%. Coal India came out with decent set of numbers. The realizations were better, but the street's not too happy about it. That's down 2.5%. And Balkrishna Industries, Wipro, Mindtree, Agama, a couple of other stocks which are seeing some bit of selling pressure.
Right. Well, on that note, take a moment to thank both our experts, Rahul and Brijesh, for joining us and taking us through their views and solving some of our viewer queries. But don't forget to log on to our website, bloombergquint.com, specifically the futures and options pages.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of the F&O Show. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint for more news and updates.